Now let us come to this example 1.12. So let us first understand the figure, then we will understand this example. So there is a cylinder. So as you know, there is a cylinder. Cylinder has two surfaces, surface 1, surface 2. The size of the cylinder is 20 centimeter. That means length is 20 centimeter or radius of this circular end is 5. That means diameter is 10 and radius is 5. Also, the origin O is coinciding with the center of this surface. So that means, what is the meaning of that? That means out of this 20, 10 centimeter on the right side, 10 centimeter on the left side of this origin, and 5 centimeter radius on this side and 5 centimeter on this side. Similarly, 5 centimeter radius on this side, 5 centimeter on this side. Similarly here, 5 centimeter this side, 5 centimeter this side. So that means coinciding of origin and center of this cylinder. So now you understood the geometry. This cylinder is at origin and the radius of this cylinder is 5 centimeter and length of this cylinder is 20 centimeter. Now let us understand this example. So example is, an electric field is uniform. So electric field is uniform and in positive x direction for positive x. So what is the meaning of this? Let us draw this cylinder. This is the cylinder. So for positive x direction, this electric field is also in positive x direction and uniform with the magnitude, but in negative x direction for negative x. For negative x, it is in negative x direction. Okay. So electric field is in positive x direction for positive x, negative x in for negative x direction. It is given as E is equal to 200 I. So this side 200 I. This I is a unit vector, is in x direction. Newton per coulomb for x is equal to x greater than 0. That means on this side, positive side. So for positive side, it is 200 I. And E is equal to minus 200 I. So for this side, it is minus 200 I. So that means both the fields are same in magnitude, 200 I. Only thing is the direction is opposite. For one side it is positive, on the other side it is negative. For x is less than 0. That means on left side. So left side it is minus 200 I. For right side it is plus 200 I. That's all. A right circular cylinder of length 20 centimeter, we just saw the image, and radius 5 centimeter. So the radius was 5 and this length was 20. Length was 20 and the radius is 5. So radius is 5 centimeter, has its center at the origin. So this is, we just saw in the figure. We just saw in the figure that center of this cylinder and origin coincide. So its axis centimeter has its center at the origin and its axis along the x-axis. So that means it is in this direction that we have seen. So x-axis, so that one face is at x is equal to 10 centimeter. This face is x is equal to plus 10 centimeter. Another one is x is equal to minus 10 centimeter. What is the net outward flux? So now we have to measure the following quantity, following things. First thing, what is the first thing we have to measure? What is the net outward flux through each of the flat face? So that means if this is the cylinder, so first we have to tell what is the flux from this surface phi1, what is the flux through this surface phi2. Okay. What is the flux through the side of cylinder? That means this surface area. This surface area phi3. Phi3 is what? Next thing is that what is the net outward flux? So that means total phi, which is combination of phi1, phi2 and phi3. What is total phi? And fourth thing is what is the net charge inside the cylinder? What is the net charge inside the cylinder? So let us first go to the diagram. Again, center is coinciding with this origin. This is in this direction 200 I but positive. In this direction 200 I but negative. Okay. So this is phi1, phi2, phi3. Okay. and 10 centimeter on this side, 10 centimeter on this side, radius is 5 centimeter. So this is the complete picture of this cylinder. Now let us calculate that how does this thing work. So let us take first end, this left end. We can see from figure that E on the left side, E, this electric field. So let us understand first one thing, how does this electric field. So if charge is at the center, so you know if there is a surface, so that if charge is emitting, if there is a positive charge, this will emit in all directions. So if on the left surface it is in electric field is in left direction, on the right surface it is in right direction, that means charge must be at the center. That means origin has a charge. That should be clear. Only then it radiates in this direction, here in this direction. If it is here, all the lines would be like this. If the charge is in this direction, all the lines would be like this. But it is not here. What we are seeing is that on the left side electric field is in left, on right side it is in right. So that means charge must be inside this sphere. It must be inside this cylinder. It must be inside this cylinder. So now therefore the outward flux on the left side, let us first phi L. This first phi L or phi 1 is equal to E dot delta S. For left side it is minus 200I and delta S. Delta S is the surface area. How you calculate surface area? Simply pi r square. Pi r square. So it becomes plus 200 delta S. Why? Because the field is in this direction and area is also in this direction. So both has a same direction. So it becomes plus. Why? Because if you take normal to the area is also on the negative side. So you consider it as a negative area. Negative, positive, and hence this is 200. I has a magnitude 1 because it is a unit vector, and pi, the radius is in centimeter, converting it into meter. 5 centimeter is 0.05 meter. Square of that, this is surface area, pi r square. So this comes out as 1.57 Newton meter square per coulomb. On the right side, this has 200I, positive 200I, and surface is also on the right side, positive x direction. Surface delta S is also positive. So again E dot delta S is 1.57. 1.57. So this is same. So both are same, 1.57, 1.57. Why? Because if the field is in positive direction, the area is also positive, that means angle 0. Again, if the field is in negative direction, area is also negative direction, that means again cos theta is cos 0. So cos 0 is 1. Simply in both the cases we are finding the same amount of flux. Now for this curved surface, so as you know, for curved surface, so field is either like this or this. For each section of this curved surface there is a perpendicular angle, that means cos theta is cos 90 and that is 0. For all curved surface cylinder, the flux outside this curved surface is 0 because these are making 90-degree angle. So net outward flux from left, from right, from curved 1.57 plus 1.57 plus 0, that means 3.14. This is the total outward flux. Again, total flux is not 0, that means charge must be inside the cylinder. As we discussed, charge is inside the cylinder, hence we are getting a flux left on the left side, right on the right side. Otherwise if it is outside, either right or left. So we are getting both sides, so that means charge is inside this cylinder. So let us calculate. Again, the net charge within the cylinder can be found using Gauss law. How? Q is equal to simply epsilon naught phi. So phi we knew that 3.14. So just phi 3.14 into epsilon naught, and this is the total charge, 2.78 into 10 to power minus 11 coulomb. So in this way we can find the charge inside any closed surface using Gauss law and total flux outside. In the next lectures we will understand some applications of this Gauss law. Thank you very much.